back, everybody, to Pivot Point of View. I'm Destri Millsap along with Becky Pearson, and we have had a couple weeks off here with the holidays, so hopefully everybody had a great holiday and you are ready for 2025. I know we're excited, and we're going to kind of just recap our year and maybe talk about some other things, but it's been a whirlwind. I mean, we started doing this podcast together right around February, March. I think it's February, and went at it every week and kind of had some incredible guests. So it's just been a whirlwind, and so thankful for all of you that tune in and subscribe and all those things to help us reach more people. And that's why we do this. We want to help people. We want to put the information out there. You can process it how you want, but we want to be able to help you know what's out there and know how to help yourself, help your horse, and we just love talking about it. So thank you all for listening and tuning in throughout this past year.
I second all of that. It has been an amazing year. Looking back at 24, I mean, probably one of 23 and 24 were probably two of the roughest years I've had in my life. But also some of the biggest wins and breakthroughs I've also had in my entire life. And so I was doing my updated 90-day sprint here at the first of the year. And I always look back to my previous 90-day sprints, and I've actually kept them back from like 2021, 22, 23. And it's so fun to look at all of that and to look at how far a person's come. I don't like to look back a whole lot, let's keep forward, let's pushing forward, let's push. But sometimes it feels like you're just not getting where you want to go because those goals can be a little bit like the horizon. You can always like shoot for the horizon, but you never get there. And so when you look back though, as far as where you were at a year or two ago, man, it was amazing to look back and to see the progress and to know that there's so much more that we can do. It excites me. It just flat out excites me for sure.
Yeah, this year a ton of growth happened for me personally, business wise, and although I didn't really rope as much as I have in the past, um, man, I did a lot of good stuff. I really focused on, you know, my clients and trying to build there, and just had a really fun time doing that and got to help a lot of people. And so that was definitely a highlight of me. I'll say that one of my favorite things I did this year was go to the bonus race finals and get to help the competitors there, and just met so many people, got to work on a ton of people, was there till 10, 11, 12 at night the couple of times I was there, and just loved it. I mean, it was great, and when you're doing stuff like that, you really can't wear yourself out. And it was just energizing to be hustling and helping people and doing what I love and helping people like me. That was just a really cool thing to be able to do this year.
Yeah, and how validating it was for us, I think, that what we do is so needed. Um, I always think about this when we're at an event, like horse people are on the go constantly, and they do not put themselves as a priority. But you get to a big event like that, and all of a sudden, a lot of these people have way more time on their hands than they ever do when they're at home. And so it's a great opportunity to be able to work on these people and to let them know that we understand the shoes that they're in. We understand, like, if you can't ride because you're in pain or you aren't riding as good as you should because you're in pain, like, we get it. We're not going to tell you, you need to not ride, you need to get off your horse. We're not going to tell you that. That's up to you to decide. And I think it was such a great opportunity to be able to be out there and visit with people. For me, it was an audience that, a bunch of people that really, I mean, I've seen some people from Nebraska, but I got to meet a lot of people from everywhere. So that was really fun. And just really helped me see that what we're doing is important, and I love doing events. They're probably my favorite part of this stuff. Even if it's just talking to somebody about what they have going on and maybe they don't necessarily need me that day or they're just not sure, always come and talk to us to see, if there is something that we can do to help you.
We saw some amazing transformations too. I mean, people that have dealt with stuff for years and years and just haven't felt like themselves in the saddle for a long time. And in a few short 1 or 2 months, they're riding completely different. Some of them would feel it within the first week, the difference. And so just being able to use our evaluation skills and give them a straight line to get there was so awesome to watch, and just so many success stories already. I mean, again, it validates you. It makes you want to help more people with their journey, and just honestly, like the whole deal of Father Time being undefeated, and people like thinking that, oh, I'm too old, that's why I don't ride my horse like I used to. But then watching people like Gail White and Jimmy Beth Powell, who are older, and then they are staying right with their horses again. They're beating other people that are way younger than them, and just having so much success was definitely a highlight of this year. And then on the other end of the spectrum, helping a high school goat tire reach her goals too. And, talking to her and her dad, people would ask them, well, what do you think the difference is this year? And they'd say, man, it's working out, and her being in really good shape, and also allowing her to stay safe that way as well.
Mhm. Yeah, it again, definitely things that are needed, and it's really fun to see that whole process lay out. And both of us, we have other jobs. Both of us have so this is kind of a side hustle, or um up until the end of the year, it was a side hustle for me. So that kind of brings me to my next big thing is I sold my PT practice on December 31st. And, I was like, there was a little bit of grief with that. I started that clinic back in 2011. I'm going to probably get all teary on everybody, but um I'm excited for Andrew and Aaron. They are going to do an awesome job. And I knew that I had more to offer or a bigger future for what we can do with Pivot Point. And for years I have felt, ever since I started Pivot Point, I felt like I was pulled in like 10 different directions, being a mom, being a business owner, being a wife, being, equine PT, helping people with their horses, being a daughter, being a sister, like you wear many, many hats. And there's a point in life where you feel like you're like, frick, I ain't doing any of them any good. I'm just treading water here. And so I am so stinking excited about being able to devote my time 100% to Pivot Point. And it's been really fun. Okay, so this is January 7th that we're talking. And I've already got two big events lined up. Um, Reached out to a clinician to see if I could team up with her and be there if there are riders at her clinics that need some help. Her and I had a great conversation about, she'll work with somebody and like they just physically can't do what she would like them to do on their horse. And so, we talked about, okay, is it that person is just a motor moron and they can't do it, which I have been there. Or is it that their body just physically won't be able to? And like she said, she goes, I don't know if they can't do it because they don't understand, or they can't do it because they just physically can't do it. And she said, and if I have, 15 other students or 10 other students, I don't necessarily have the time to really dive in deep with that person on one-on-one to see if what's the case. And so she goes, it'd be awesome to have you there to be like, okay, you go over and work with Becky to see, if there's some, physical reasons why you can't do that. Like we talked specifically about people being able to sit down deep in their seat, or to be able to relax their lower body to move with the horse while still having good posture in their upper body. And so I am so excited about that, to be able to have the flexibility in my schedule to be able to go to some of those clinics with her. And just the opportunities that I think are out there, that having the flexibility to do it, I I honestly don't see an end to this. Like I feel like it is so needed, and so few people are able to offer the things that we do. So it's amazing.
Definitely. And a big emphasis this year has been how our bodies affect our horse and how our horse's bodies affect us. I was just asked the other day, what if your horse is off and that's affecting your body rather than your body being off affecting your horse? And I'm like, well, it's kind of a chicken or the egg type deal, which one started first. And so, but you have to address both. And your restrictions restrict your horse, their restrictions restrict you, and it can create a lot of friction and frustration there. So to be able to fix one or the other and watch that change happen right in front of your eyes has been amazing. And then being able to go down and work with Dr. Kim, who we've had on here, and she'll work on the owner's horse, and I'll work on the owner slash rider, and we found some amazing things doing that. I mean, down to like specific vertebrae and even like visceral stuff with like the other day I was down there and this one lady's we are doing like some lymph drainage type stuff, and specifically her liver was pretty um clogged up and stuff, and man, it took forever to get that liver right and functioning like it needed to, and unclogged and whatever else. And so I was talking with Kim after that and telling, just we always talk after we work on one or the other, and just see what similarities we saw. And I was like, man, I really struggled to get this liver to unclog and release and relax and flow the way it's supposed to. And she said, yeah, her first horse, I really, that one really had a hard time doing the same thing. And so I asked the lady, I was like, are you the one that rides this horse? Because she was there with somebody else. And she said, yes, I am. And so whether it's a similarity or it's a coincidence, I don't know, but we find those things all the time when we compare notes.
Yeah. It was interesting that you say that, because a few things came to mind. I started working with a rein cow horse guy, and his wife was saying we found quite a few limitations, and that started from like a broken ankle. And so he's really limited in ankle mobility. So then that translates all the way up to his hip and his low back and that side of his pelvis. And then we start talking about his horses, and he rides multiple horses. Well, they all wear out like one of the sliders worse in the hind end than the other. So you can't tell me that just one horse, if it was just one horse, you'd think, okay, it's the horse. But all of these horses are wearing out one slider more than the other. They wear out one hind boot worse than the other. And so what's the common denominator? It's that rider. And so it's interesting. So we're working on increasing his ankle mobility, and increasing his low back stability so that he can sit deeper in the saddle, more symmetrical. So it'll be really fun to see what'll happen over the long run, to see if the shoer notices there's more symmetry and less wear. Hopefully they also get the horses worked on, because there's probably been some compensation over time with those horses too. And so it's fun working with high level riders that notice those little things, and I think the Rain Cow Horse event is it's such a cool event. And then, but those riders are such high level. I mean, I would probably put them next to like English dressage riders. The dressage people, I mean, they are so aware of their body and so aware of their horse's body. I think a lot of times, most of us barrel racers, we are aware, but not to the extent that these riders are. And so it's really fun to work with riders that are very, very high level, that feel every little thing, and to see what that like does to their horse. When we make changes to their body, what does it do to their horse?
Yeah, and that just, goes along with, you talk about core and hip strength and stuff. And having core strength improves your balance and stability and posture in the saddle. It also allows you to have better communication and control of your horse by being able to have that balance, to use correct leg pressure, to stay in a correct position in the saddle and not get, thrown up over the front if they take a wrong step. And then you think about all the colt trainers and guys that ride a lot of different horses, and whether it's maturity from any discipline, those horses, they don't always make the right move, or they're not always the most collected, and they're going to make a quick movement this way or that way, and having a strong core will help you absorb those movements, make you have better reaction to stay with them and all of those things. And so yeah, it's incredibly important, and it's also important for your horse to have a strong core, and that'll improve, that'll make them more collected and have a smoother ride for you and take the pressure off your body in that way. So those things are always intertwined.
Yeah, 100%. So fun little core story that I can relate to people today. Um, so I got a nice 2, 3 year old filly. I bought her back. I raised her. She went off to some people in Nevada. They put her back up for sale. So I bought her back. So got her home and kicked her out because I felt like she maybe had some ulcery issues from whether it was being started or the transition here to my house. But so she was kicked out for a couple months. I got her in shortly before the end of the year, got on her, and just kind of sassy, just like, I don't want to, kind of an attitude. And so I took my rein, popped her on the butt with the end of the rein. She gave a big old jump, and not hard buck, just like a screw you, I don't want to do this. And at the moment, I did not feel much. I stuck with her, it was a real big deal. Well, I think that started a cascade of events that culminated yesterday in me being like 100 years old. My back went into such terrible spasm. So what I think happened is when she jumped, it twisted my pelvis. Okay. But not so bad that like it didn't debilitate me. I just was like, oh yeah, I'm a little sore from that colt jumping with me yesterday. So kind of go on. I kind of half-assed my pelvic corrective exercises, because it wasn't hurting that bad. And so but I'm still trying to work out, do like this uh hit cardio plyo workout. That I think sent me over the edge. So I wake up yesterday morning and I can't even hardly fucking get out of bed. Excuse my language. Like I hurt so bad. Like I am bent over. I am miserable. Like wet my pants when I want to stand up type of pain, stabbing pain. So thankfully, I have a very flexible schedule now. And I took the whole morning, and yesterday was my day to start 75 hard. And so I'm like, oh, maybe I just need to push this back. And I'm like, no, 75 hard is to build your mental toughness. So get your butt out and start doing what you need to do. And so it took me like my 45-minute workout in the morning was pelvic corrective exercises. Got my chores done and including pitching hay. And I tell you what, so some people don't think your chores should be part of your outside workout for that 75 hard. Well, do that with freaking back pain. That takes mental toughness to like make yourself pitch hay when you got terrible back pain. So, anyways, we have a little private Facebook group, 75 hard with Pivot Point, and it's for mostly horse people. And I am saying we can count our riding horse and our chores as the outside workout. So might be cheating, I don't know, but that's what I'm counting. So, anyways, so I go through and work on my back pretty much all day, and make myself go for a walk because I have to get the rest of my time for my workout outside. There's no way I'm going to run with my back pain the way it was. Um, and so then I end up late last night working on the ab workout that I have in our program. And I felt like normal last night after I did the lower ab workout, the upper ab workout. And so it really got me thinking last night. I'm like, we have to talk about this on the podcast because like I'm not kidding you guys. It was like 8 to 9 out of 10 pain yesterday. I mean, it was bad. I wasn't ready to go to the emergency room, but I'm super stubborn and I want to figure this shit out on my own. And so last night, after doing that, I'm like, this is such a testament to when you engage the core, okay, or when you engage your abs, it helps your back relax. So we're made so that when one muscle contracts, so if my bicep contracts, my triceps are relaxed. And so if my back muscles are super tight and they won't relax, what do I need to do? I need to get the opposite muscle working, right? And so yeah, so when I finally got my abs working last night, like I was like, huh, should have did this at 8 o'clock in the morning instead of waiting until 8 o'clock at night. But yeah, it is like we need those muscles so much, not only in our daily life and when we ride our horses, but like it can really be a game changer with you with your pain management too.
75 hard is definitely coming the hard way right now if you got to go do that outdoor workout because it is freezing out. It's
It
just,
is
like Oklahoma, like we were in Iowa last week and it was warmer there than it was in Oklahoma at our house. And
really.
so we didn't bring it home. It definitely beat us home. So
Yeah, it was 12 degrees here yesterday. And I think today our high might be about the same. It might be about 12. I think we're supposed to get down to 1 degree tonight, but it is supposed to start to warm up. But, 75 hard is more of a program for mental toughness and discipline. You can, like, for those people that haven't heard us talk about it on here, go check out Andy Frisella. Just like search up Andy Frisella 75 hard. He's the guy that kind of coined the program or whatever. It's you have to do two workouts a day, two 45-minute workouts, both could be outside, but one has to be outside. And then you have to take a progress picture every day. You have to drink a gallon of water every day. You have to follow some kind of a diet. He doesn't care what diet it is, but you can't cheat on it. Um, you also have to read 10 pages of like a personal development, nonfiction book that helps you be a better person, I guess, basically. And so I think that's about all of the elements. And so it's it's to do that for 75 days. And if you miss any one of them, or you know, miss 1 ounce of your gallon of water, like you got to start back at day one again. And so it's going to be interesting. Actually, I kind of been training for it with the water intake because I was trying to figure out how I need to pace myself. And what I figured out yesterday, I did get the gallon of water in, but I had been trying to do it with ice in my water. And so, like, I was not making it with the ice because I was having to do more. Basically, I was consuming more than the gallon, but I didn't know exactly how much more. And so, yeah, yesterday I did my gallon without ice and I was able to get it finished. And so, yeah, that is probably going to be if I screw up somewhere, it's going to be not getting my gallon of water in. That's tough to do.
Yeah, definitely got to stay hydrated with all the working out and stuff. And it's hard in the wintertime. I really struggle. I always put lemon in my water first thing in the morning, real lemon, squeeze it in there. Helps clean your liver out, gives you energy, vitamin C. That's one of my things that I do ritualistically all the time. It's in my morning ritual. Lemon in my water, it helps me get it down throughout the whole day, and then I'm 32 ounces to the good by the time 8 o'clock rolls around. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And I figured I needed to have two of my Stanley Cups done by noon in order to get the gallon in by the rest of my day. So it's it's gonna be tough, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. We honestly, it started out to be like there was maybe like five or six of us that were gonna do it together, and I created the little private Facebook page that we could kind of talk back and forth on there. Well, somehow I screwed up and sent invitations to, I think, my entire friend list, which honestly, I think it was a God thing. Like, I think God knew like people needed this. Now our group is like over 120 people in this on this page. And like it's amazing. It is so fun to see uh everybody's why they're doing it. And just like the questions about it, and maybe not even half of us end up completing the 75 days, but it's bringing an awareness to it. It's helping people get better. And so if we can do that together, that's awesome. Like I think it was a big whoops on my part, but it was so fun. I'm like, somebody's like, "Oh, thanks for the invite." And I'm like, "Oh, I invited you? Oh, okay." Great, join in, like it's just fun, like just some of the people I just hadn't even thought about like would want to do it. And so it's been really good to see people jumping on board with it. And it's a great time of year to do it. You know, everybody's thinking about getting healthier, and so it's fun.
You bet. And you need that support and that accountability too. And having that group and network to do that definitely is helpful.
For sure. Yeah. And then the other thing that made me feel super old yesterday, I had blood work done. Um, and I really think so for the most part, all my blood work was good. Um, but so I get the email yesterday from my doctor that my cardiac CRP levels, a 3 is high, and mine was 14. And
Oh,
yeah,
whoa.
yeah, exactly. So
What does it mean?
yeah, so what does this mean? So I got diving into this a little more. And so my doctor's like super worried. He's like, "Did you feel okay the day we took your blood?" And I'm like, well, no, because I had the freaking flu the day before. And I mean, I was like puking. No, it wasn't because I over drank on New Year's Eve. I had 2 drinks, that was it. But I woke up New Year's morning and I barfed twice. I went out and I did my chores. I puked again. And so there is like this virus going around. So I mean, and I like my body aches. I also think that was a little bit of why this whole back thing got a little out of control too. Is just like the whole fever, chills, all that kind of stuff. And so I'm like, well, could it be that I had the flu? And he's like, well, yeah, it could be, but we want to redo these tests in another 90 days. And so, yeah, so now I am like, okay, this is probably a wake-up call for me. And like how do I get these inflammatory markers down in my body? And so he shared some things with me on like antioxidants. I also listened to a great podcast yesterday with Mel Robbins. Thank you, Emma, for sharing this with me. And she didn't even know I had these crappy lab values until she called me about it. But um, so, and they were talking about the Mediterranean diet, like just how good that is for the antioxidants and stuff like that. And so yeah, went grocery shopping last night to get me some more antioxidant types of food, and because I don't want to have a heart attack. But he's like, "Well, are you under stress?" I'm like, "I just sold my freaking clinic. Yeah, I've been a little under stress,
Running a little hot, just a
just a
little hot.
little."
We're boiling into 2025. Okay, we're running hot. We're doing 75 hard. Right,
Yeah.
the numbers gonna be a little skewed at the beginning here.
Yeah, yeah. So we're hoping to level out a little bit and not have so much drama, but the first week has been a little bit wild for me for sure.
Did you just do like blood work from your regular doctor? Because I know there's like, I don't know. I've been looking into this like functional blood work, whatever, and they do like tests for a ton of different stuff. Um, it's
This was a little more comprehensive than what I've ever had done before. I don't know that it necessarily calls it functional blood work. So my doctor is a direct primary care doctor. Okay, so he doesn't take insurance. I pay a monthly membership to belong to his clinic. If I like have an issue, like I can telemedicine him, like I can call him over the phone and we can talk. Obviously blood work, you need to be there in person for that, but I love it. If you have a direct primary care physician in your area, I highly recommend it. It's like what medicine should be to me. Like he will sit down and he will visit with you for an hour about what you have going on. Um, Always available via text, phone, email, whatever. He's great about getting back to you. And so, because they don't take insurance, they aren't bound by insurance rules as far as like insurance payments. And so, like, he doesn't have to see 50 patients a day. in order to make a living. Like this, is he the highest paid doctor on earth? Probably not, but um, he can give medicine the way he wanted to give medicine. Like he wants to actually be involved in your care. And so it's been a really good thing for me and my family. But we did look at like my A1C, we looked at the cardiac CRP, which all of those levels were, I've never had anybody necessarily check those out. So I do feel like it was pretty comprehensive, and my A1C was up a little. He said, well, that's from your last 30 days. And I'm like, well, we went on vacation to Jamaica and I did not hold anything back. I drank, I ate, it was all you can eat buffets. So I'm like, that was just a little elevated. So, anyways, so that along with my cardiac CRP being higher, he's like, yeah, we need to redo these tests in 90 days. So I will be on my best behavior in the next 90 days.
Little harder to bounce back on the old drinking the older you get. It's
Yeah.
little little tough to bounce back. Yeah. So
Yeah.
ballsy on the A1C. Getting that tested after the holidays. The
I
bold
had no
stretch.
idea.
I don't know what's going on. What? It's up. It's elevated. Oh, I have no idea why.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll do it like in March-ish, so it should be better in March. I don't know. Hope so. Like, I don't really feel like I live that unhealthy. It just happened to be like a really crappy circumstances for me to get my blood drawn. I should have waited, but um, yeah, what the hell.
Yeah, December was a great month to leave in 2024. Go ahead and leave that one there. So,
Yeah.
but hey, 75, 90 days later, it comes after 75. So
Yeah.
it could be a big change. Might have a lot of fun things to say at the doctor by then. A lot of good.
Yeah. I'll keep you all updated. So it'll it'll be good. Yeah, whatever. It'll be good no matter what. How about you? Like, so you went up to Iowa and got to have a little vacay?
Yeah, we went to the wonderful place of Iowa, who has the nicest people ever. I love my in-laws, and we got to see a lot of great friends and stuff. And yeah, they don't try to keep up with the Iowans on the whiskey drinking or Bush Light consumption. Don't try to do that. It won't end good for you. Um, yeah,
No
I'm experienced with
way.
them, so I don't try to keep up anymore. Um, you know, I was at a good pace, but it was not up with them. So, yeah, if you ever go to Iowa, don't feel like you got to keep up with they're professionals, okay? They are professional drinkers, and don't try to keep up with them is my only advice there. But super nice people. We always have a good time, and the fact that it was warmer there than at home was a little weird, but no, it was nice to get away and go do something else for a while and see a bunch of family I haven't got to see in a long time. So
Yeah. Minnesota is the same way on the drinking. Like it is like a national sport up there. Or at least where I grew up. I grew up in like middle of the swamps up in Minnesota. Like and it is, if you don't like to hunt, fish, snowmobile, drink, you are like a fish out of water up there. And so they are professional drinkers, and they do it well.
don't feed the bears there. Don't feed the bears.
Yeah, yeah. For sure.
Well, 2025, we got some fun, awesome things coming up. We are getting closer every day to launching our website, and that's going to have a lot of great things where you can get a membership, have access to a ton of different workouts. You can do special programs that will help you as well for you and your horse. So I'm really excited to get that up and running. That's so stay tuned on that. That's going to be a really fun and exciting thing for us. We've been putting it together the past few months, and yeah, man, that's a big step, and I can't wait to get it rolling.
Yeah, for sure. And then we are also, so we're working with the end of the month. We're going to go to Fort Hayes and we're going to start doing some work with the college rodeo team there. I'm really looking forward to that. And Destri's been doing some great programming for ropers, goat tires, all that stuff. So that's going to be exciting. I really hope that the college rodeo team there finds value in what we do, because I do feel like people are starting to realize that rodeo athletes are athletes. They're just not just go, drink your 12 pack of beer before you get on your bronc anymore. Like it's you gotta take this serious if you're wanting to win. And so um that's our goal, is to help people, get to that next level of competition, and by helping them get better physically, and so yeah, that'll be fun. We got that coming up in January, the end of January. I'm gonna work with some ladies up in Shadron in February. Joining up with Jade Trump up there for Ladies Night Out. And so just, helping gals that are trying to get better with their riding. Got a couple events. I always like to do the Triangle Cross Winter Barrel Racing Series in McCook. We got one coming up here this weekend in McCook, and then she'll have another date in February and a couple in March. So those will be on the list of things to do. I'm also going to try to get to some Rain Cow Horse events and set up a booth there. So, and I've been in contact with some the cutting people in Nebraska to go to some of the cuttings. Still in the works that way. So, trying to do more events this year. And now that I'm not having to go to the clinic all the time, um, to the PT clinic, now I want to be more available to my people, and I have more flexibility to be available to my people. So very excited about that and to see where that's gonna take us.
Absolutely. And yeah, it is a part-time deal for me, but man, it's probably my most favorite thing that I do, and hopefully I'll get to do it full time one day and this deal takes off. But just excited to get started. I was talking to Dr. Kim the other day and I was like, man, all I've wanted to do is have horse and people care under one roof. And when I get to go to Dr. Kim's, we're already doing that. And so just a really special thing to get started and realize you're not as far away from stuff as you might think. So
100%. So if you guys like what we're doing, please share the show. Um, it helps us tremendously. We don't have any sponsors. If somebody wants to sponsor the show, that'd be great. But it just, we want to grow it, and we want to just get the message out to more people what we're doing, and just help us by, if you find value in it, to share it with others, and we appreciate everybody's support.
definitely thank you all again for supporting us all year and sticking with us. And man, we just sure appreciate you listening. And as always, make your health the pivot point to your success.